bash scripts and you want to add two numbers together. Simple, right? So you do what actually kind of makes sense. You type this /bin/bash, then hash num1 equals to 55, num2 equals to 108, then equal the answer is num1 plus num2. So let's check it out whether it actually gives us 163 or is just going to give us another thing. So let me show you the output. As you can see right now, bash prints the answer is column num1 plus num2, not actually 163. But as you can see, it's completely ignored the mass. So if you are new to bash scripts or bash script, that moment is actually kind of genuinely confusing, and this video is going to explain exactly why that happens and show you how to do every single arithmetic operation correctly. By the end of this video, you will know how to do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, and exponentiation right here on your Ubuntu terminal. So let us get started. But actually before that, there are a lot of beginners that do this kind of mistakes. This mistake that I'm kind of talking about right now is, let me show you, is this. Let me show you the mistake. So kind of guess what did I just fix right now? As you can see, the first one, num1 equals to 55. I did not add space. Why the second one, num2 equals to 108? The space. Always never put space in bash script, because when you put space, you are telling the bash script that this is not like an arithmetic. This is an argument. So you are trying to say that this is an argument, not a calculation. So always remember, this is wrong. Why this is wrong, this is right, why this is wrong. So always remember, stop putting space when you are doing arithmetic progression. So that's all. Now let us go back to the first problem. Why did bash print actually print num1 plus num2 as plain text instead of calculating 163? So the reason actually kind of simple. In bash, everything is text by default. Every variable you create, every value you store, bash treat it as a string of characters, not as a number. When you write equal num1 plus num2, bash sees four pieces of numbers. So when you write test, sorry, not numbers, test. So the num1 is actually a symbol that tells bash that this is an argument, not a calculation. So if you want to tell bash, hey, stop treating this as a test, I want you to do actual mathematics, you have to use actually a special sentence, and it's called arithmetic expansion. And actually it looks like this. Let me cancel this so that you guys can see it clearly. It looks like this. You're going to have to use this. As you can see, this is the command that I wrote. Result equals to $, open bracket, open bracket. So that's actually a combination. The double bracket is the signal that tells bash everything inside here is a mathematical expression. Calculate it, give me the number. While the result of the calculation gets stored in the variable on the left. In this case, we are calling it result, like I put here. So wherever you see $, open brackets, double brackets, open, while close brackets, double, in a bash script, you know that that's actually maths happening inside it. So this is actually one of the systems you need to know, and everything else just changes what operator you use inside it. So now I'm going to show you how to use addition using arithmetic, using this kind of command. So you guys should stay tuned and watch. So this is the code that you use when you want to calculate an addition using in bash script. So I'm going to explain each line. So let's just get started. So I'm going to explain what this line means. So the first line is called shebang. It tells the system use bash to run this file. Without this, the system might try to run your script using a different shell, and this will behave unexpectedly. So always try to use this first in your line, because if you don't use it, it might even run it as a PowerShell, or even it might even just look at it like you are writing a code, not a code, but just like normal typing in your computer system. So always remember, run this line. Now let us define these two numbers that we use. So I'm going to use this 55 and this 108 as a working value throughout this entire video. So This number 1 equals to 55. As you can see right here, I did not put spaces. Well, the same thing as 108 num2 equals 108, no spaces. So these two variables, it actually stores the arithmetic that we want to use. So after that, then as you can see right here, this sum equals to, that is actually creating a variable called sum. So wherever you come out across this sum equals to, that's actually just creating a variable. So on the right side of the equal sign, this dollar, right, and this dollar is actually followed by two open brackets. That is our arithmetic expression telling bash calculate what is inside here. So inside the bracket we have num1 equals to num2. So bash looks up and said, this is num1. The num1 equals to num2 is telling bash that this 55 plus num2, 108. So 55 plus 108. So let us now close this and see whether it actually must addition everything together. As you can see right now, it's showing us the sum of the two numbers is 100 is column 163, and we just print out it. So this is actually how you print or how you do an addition in your bash script. So this is actually gonna be pretty easy. So let's move on to subtraction. Like I told you, we are going to move to subtraction. So this is the command for subtraction. So the subtraction, most of you know that, all of you know that the operator for subtraction is minus. So I don't need to dive into that. So like we did before, this div is actually our new variable, short for difference. So inside the double brackets, num1 minus num2, that is actually 55 minus 108. So now 55 minus 108 is going to give us a negative number because we are taking a bigger number away from a smaller one. So 55 minus 108 is going to give us a negative number. So you guys are going to see it. So the difference between addition and subtraction is just one thing. The addition is sum, while the subtraction is diff. So let us check out what is going to be the answer. As you can see, like I told you, the difference of the two numbers is minus 53. So bash handles it actually perfectly fine. So no special handling needed. It just gives you the negative result. So one thing you need to know and understand about subtraction is the other matters. Like I told you when we did this, now if you flipped it backward, like now you said num2 equal minus num1, it's going to give you different. It's going to give you a positive answer, 53. Now that we are done with subtraction, we are going into multiplication. So the the operator for multiplication is asterisk. So most of you must know that. So that means the star symbol right here. So I'm going to call the result. Like I told you, the result is a variable. So I'm going to name it prod, short term for products, which is the correct mathematical terms for the result of multiplication. So I did prod equals to dollar, double brackets, num1 times num2, 55 times 108, that means 55 times 108. So I did equal, the product of the two numbers is column dollar prod. Let us check it out, what is going to give us as the answer. As you can see right now, it showed us the answer. I did dot slash arithmetic dot sh. So it showed that the product of the two numbers is 5,940, like we did. But now that we are done, I need to warn you about one thing, about the asterisk, because it's actually kind of dangerous outside the double brackets in bash. When you use the star symbol outside of arithmetic, it is a wild card. It means match every file in the current directory. So if you ever accidentally write multiplication without the current directory, without the double brackets, bash is not going to multiply anything. It is going to expand that star into a list of your file, and your script will break in a confusing way. So always put multiplication goes inside the brackets, no exception. So now let us dive into division. Okay, now we are in division. So the operator for division is the slash, as you can see, the forward slash. So I need you to pay very close attention here because Bash does something with division that will surprise you. I put quotes equals to dollar num1 num2 slash num1. So we get 1, but hold on to 108 divided by 55. It's not 1. So now we are going to get a calculator out and check 108 divided by 55 is 1.9636. So where did the 0.9636 go? Let me show you so that you guys can understand what I'm talking about. You can see, right, it's showing us the quotient of the two numbers is 1, but it's not showing us the decimal points. So the reason is that Bash literally just threw away everything completely. No rounding, no warning, no error. Just chop off everything after the decimal point and handed you the whole number 1. And this is called integer division. And it happened because Bash stores all arithmetic results as integers, whole numbers only. That means it stores this as whole number only. It was designed for system tasks and scripting, not for scientific calculation. So decimal support was never built into arithmetic expansion. And this actually catches a lot of people. You run a calculation, you get a result, and you think the result is correct. But Bash has silently dropped the decimal and your calculation is wrong. So always remember, the column Bash division gives you whole numbers only. Now, what if you actually need the decimal? So if you want to use the decimal, you use a tool called BC. BC stands for Basic Calculator, and it is called on every, and it is installed on every Ubuntu system. Now watch and see how I'm going to turn this one equals to a decimal point. As you can see, this is the command that I wrote. Equal scale equals to 2, then $num1. So I'm going to explain each line correctly. This equal is actually a command output for a string test. That test is like a scale. This scale equals to 2 is also known as a semicolon. So this scale equals to 2 is an instruction to BC. This is BC right here. It means give me 2 decimal places in the results. Then this pipe right here is this pipe symbol is a vertical bar on your keyboard. It takes everything that came out of equal and feeds it directly into BC as an input. And BC right here reads it and does the calculation properly and give us 1.96. So the rule is that you use dollar double brackets for a whole number division, while you use BC when you need decimal point. Let us check what it's going to give us so that you guys can understand better. As you can see right here, it gave us 1.96. So this is how you calculate a decimal point. So it's pretty much easy to calculate both decimal points and the whole number. And I know that you guys have understand it right now. So we are moving to modulo. Modulo, most people actually were never taught it in school the way they were taught addition or multiplication. So I'm going to explain it in plain language before I actually show you the code. When you divide 108 by 55, you can fit 55 into 108 exactly one time. One group of 55. That one group accounts for 55 out of the 108, but you still have 53 left over. So 108 minus 55 equals to 53. That leftover 53 is called the remainder, modulo. It's the operation that gives you that remainder. That is literally what it does. So it's like an operation. And this is the command for modulo. As you can see, I did mod equals to dollar double bracket num2, then percentage num1. Then I did equal the remainder of the two numbers is dollar mod. So I did 55 divided by 108 so that it could give out the modulo. So let us check out the command. As you can see, it showed us the remainder of the two numbers is column 53. That means we just finished doing our modulo. So that is simple and easy. Now we are going to explanation. So most of you might be thinking, what is an explanation? Explanation means like a last operator, like raising a number to a power of 55. Like 55 squared, 55. Like 55 squared means 55 times 55. 55 cubed means 55 times 55 times 55. So the operator is two asterisks side by side, like a double star. So the moment you put 55 square, means 55 times 55. That means double asterisk. So let me show you the command. As you can see, this is the command. I did POW equals to dollar double brackets num1 times 2. So equal dollar num1 acquired is column dollar POW. So let us check out what it's going to give us. That means in a simple time, like let me explain before I check it out. I did 55 times 55 times 55. That is actually what it means. 55 times 55 times 55. Just put in, like if you want to times the two numbers. Let us check. As you can see right now, like I told you, 50 acquired is column 30,000 or 3,025. So that is how you do an explanation. Now I'm going to show you how you are going to combine every single operation we covered all in one file running together. So you guys should keep watch. As you can see right now, this is the command for all the 6 operators that we use in this video. As you can see, I did sum equals to num1. This is for the addition. This is for subtraction. This is for multiplication. And this is for division, modulo and explanation. Now let us check out what is going to give us. Is the command going to work? As you can see right now, all the 6 operators are working perfectly fine. The sum of the two numbers is 163. That's for addition. The difference of the two numbers is minus 53. For subtraction, the product of the two numbers is 5,940. The quotient of the two numbers is 1. And the remainder of the two numbers is 53. And 55 squared is 3,025. Now, you can go ahead and change num1 and num2 to any numbers you want and run it again. Every single result will update automatically because the script uses variable. It does not actually care about what actual numbers you put inside this. So now that is actually bash arithmetic for you. 6 operators, 1 system. You double parentheses and you can handle any calculation inside your script. The one thing I want to ask you before we work our way remembering, bash treat everything as text unless you use the double parentheses. The moment you wrap in expression in dollar double bracket, bash switches into math mode and calculate the result. That is the entire concept. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to take this same arithmetic operation and use them inside if statement and while loops, so a script can make decisions based on numbers, countings, and repeats actions automatically. And that is where bash scripts really start to become powerful. If this video helps you, please hit the subscribe button below so that you can continue and grow together. Have a nice day.